Okay. Should we start? Well, let's talk about the flashback scenes first, right? This movie starts off. It did hook me in with the original Warner Brothers
Yeah, that was
logo.
cool.
I was like, okay, cool. And it also made me more upset or frustrated when they did that, and that was like bad quality, like classic. But then why didn't they use that same mindset for the flashback scenes? I get it; they had to film new scenes. In the opening scene, it's with Danny and his mom after the fact.
That was fine because the mom did actually not too bad. There was some like she actually looked like the real mom.
She acted as her really well. Like the lines and everything were spot on. It kind of made me uncomfortable. I was like, oh my god, she's doing really good.
Yeah, 'cause she did really
Yeah.
she did really well. It was with the Jack and the whole and the
Yeah. So let's talk about first, like the opening scene. It's pretty much, it just wanted to get that exposition in on what their life was like after The Shining, and it's Danny, and he's still being haunted by these things from the Overlook Hotel. At first, it took me some time. I was like, oh, this feels weird. They were essentially redoing him riding the bike in the hotel scene with a new kid. I was like, oh, this feels weird. But I was like, fine, whatever. They got to get the story through and explain it.
I don't know why. Again, you can just use the.
Yeah, for that I don't know why they did. For the scenes with his mom and stuff, I get that because those are fresh scenes.
Yeah, I'm talking about the scene with him riding the bike.
Yeah.
Just reuse the other one.
I don't know why. I think the director just wanted to recreate it.
I think he wanted to just go.
He wanted to do it, yeah.
Just film it.
But because I don't know I was fine with that. I was like, because the actress who plays the mom, I forgot her name. What's the mom's name? Oh. How did I forget? Wendy. Of course, Wendy. She plays her really spot on.
Oh, that scene when she recreated
Danny.
the bathroom.
Oh, that too.
Dude,
yeah.
She did like the look.
Yeah. Also, when Danny's talking to the guy, I forgot his name, the caretaker, and she's running. She's like, "Danny, where have you been?" And like even the hand gestures and like the mannerisms, it's really spot on. So for that actress, I gotta give you credit there. That was pretty good. The kid, it's a kid actor. He did well. So I was fine with that. We don't get any more flashbacks after that. It was just pretty much setting up the story. So I was like, okay, fine, I get it. You got to set this up because that's where they bring up the thing about the box and the caretaker showing him the box, and that's where he puts all the haunted.
And that was done well too.
The what?
With the caretaker, because I thought he just came back to life.
Yeah, I was like, the first time I saw him, I was like, oh, so they're just going that route. Like, forget what you. No, but he was just dead already. But that's shining. How he was shining. Yeah, so I was like, okay, that worked.
How smart.
Yeah. Because he's supposed to be alive after the first one. So they had to establish the whole thing with his box and all that, and that's where he stores all these hauntings and stuff like that. So I get why they did it. And the whole movie's just happening. The movie's just happening, right? Not much going on. The scene where that kid is getting stabbed and they're just getting his steam, which steam is just pretty much like this steam that comes out of their mouths, out of their body when they're in pain. And that's what fuels these. Essentially, they're like witches or something.
Yeah.
They did this ritual, and they can live long as they get the steam.
Like showing it. I'm not showing it,
but
it showed the kid in pain.
Yeah, that kid did really good. That's the kid from Good Boys.
Yeah.
He did really good. I felt that scene, like him in pain and him crying like that. That felt so real.
He showed him with blood and.
That felt really real. That kid did great in that scene. I mean, he did amazing. Really good. It made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, oh my god, I feel like they're actually doing that to this kid. So I gotta give him props there. That was a really good scene. So they're getting the steam because they need it. That's why I was saying also, like, if it was a show, because I didn't know, like, it just, next scene comes up, oh, we're running out of steam. It's time. Shit. We're running low on fuel. So I was like, wait, what? When? There is that 8-year time jump.
Randomly.
Where I was like.
Because it had been the little girl, like, bigger, a little older.
Did they show her?
That was her as a baby.
When?
Sorry. In the party. The birthday party.
Oh, that's right. She was smaller. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right.
It was just showing her powers.
Yeah, she was like
But
using
then
it
they had
uncontrollably.
to
Make her
they
older.
make her older. 'Cause you
I
can't-
forgot about that. You see
The
him?
one thing about that character, I feel like she just tagged along with Danny out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I feel like they got along so quick.
Because that 8-year time jump,
They were talking to
they
one
skip all that. You know, when he's
Yeah.
writing in the chalk, and that's why it shows it right before the time jump. It's like them about to talk 8 years later, they're still talking. So they've been friends all that time.
Yeah.
That's why in a show you can flush that out more, build the bond. While they're building that bond, we're starting to see the True Knot cult, what they do and who they're recruiting.
They were so weird. I didn't understand the cult thing because they all have powers, but they never really used it.
Yeah,
Only
they
the
all
main
shined.
girl- yeah, they all shine because they all have powers. The only one that used her powers was the Ferguson,
Yeah.
her, the older girl,
The blonde, yeah.
the blonde, the short blonde hair, and that's it. Because the other guy that was banging the Ferguson,
He was just there.
he said he had a few tricks in his own, but I never.
He just showed up to the house. That's what it was.
Yeah, I don't know what he did,
Yeah.
and they die easily.
Yeah, that scene was that scene was pretty funny. I don't know. Yeah, they died like they killed them all in that one trap.
And I love how it was like magic bullets. They never had to reload until the moment matters.
Yeah.
It was like funny.
Yeah, so they actually killed the whole cult, practically the whole cult, right in that one scene with the trap.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that
And we
easy.
already knew what was happening, and then I was like, oh, it actually worked, you know, except, what's her name? Abba has like a Last Jedi moment as Luke. She's like sitting on the table, and she was practically using the Shining, but she was doing it all from her home, you know, and she was just like telegraphing herself in the woods.
Yeah, I
and
guess she was really
tricking
powerful.
Yeah. So that reminded me of like Luke Skywalker when he's on the mountain, you know.
Yeah, but that moment when he loses his best friend, that was cool.
Which is not in the books. I was reading up. So the difference between the movie and the books, that, you know, when that scene happens, yeah, like I didn't expect that. He shoots himself in the head. I was like, oh, you know, that was a good scene. I didn't see that coming. And then Abba gets caught and gets neutralized, and the dad dies. She's taken away. Not for long because she's pretty powerful, so that's why it felt easy, I guess.
Well, no, that wasn't her. That was Danny who did that.
It was Danny that did that?
Yeah, when they touch hands, he took control of her a little bit.
And then he did that?
He flipped it. You saw her eyes were
That's
blue.
right, she was still blue.
Yeah, so that was
Well,
Danny
yeah,
doing
but
that.
what I mean, the situation itself, it was pretty easy for her to get out.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty funny when he flies out the window
Oh, shit.
and died. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, you know, that happens, and she escapes, and then she meets up with Danny, then they gotta go to the Overlook Hotel, right? And then this is where the book and the movie, this is where it starts changing. So, in the book, there's actually a big plot line where after the scene of the woods, I think it was, they go see Abba's grandmother, and it turns out her grandmother
Shines.
is a sibling. She's technically related to Danny Torrance. Like the grandmother, like her mom is, I think, related somehow to Danny.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like an uncle or a brother. Like,
Is that why she kept calling him Uncle
maybe
Danny?
it's a little hint for the book readers.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
she call Uncle Danny.
maybe that's why she said that line. Oh, I'm just gonna call you. You're my uncle, in case somebody asks. But so maybe that's a little hint for the book readers.
Yeah, for the book, yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. So that's what I did. You know, again, you can tell that this guy was really trying to please the book readers, and also because he, you know, and then there was supposed to be this whole thing where they go see her grandma, and he finds out that they're related, and all that, you know, which would have worked. But again, that's something maybe for a TV show, something that you find out over the course of the season. But here in a movie, they had to cut that out. Billy's not supposed to die here. They added that in there. And then that's when they go see the grandmother. Now, the ending, in the book of The Shining, Danny escapes with the mom and the caretaker, and they burn the place down. In this movie, in the second book, what I was reading in Doctor Sleep, the original site of the hotel is where the cult is camped at. Like they eventually end up being, that's like their campsite, and that's where the final, I guess, battle is. It's at the campsite over the remains of the Overlook Hotel because it burnt down already. So there was never supposed to be a hotel, but it was still going to be in that location. So that's why this director, when he came out, he told Stephen King, what if, at first he just said, what if we did it inside the Overlook Hotel? And he said no. Like, that's not, because, he hates the original movie, so he didn't like the fact that he's paying homage to the, but then I guess he asked him, what if we do it in the hotel, and we give it the proper ending that it should have gotten with The Shining, and we burn it down by the end of it. And that's when he liked the idea, because it's giving the original ending from The Shining, because the first Shining is supposed to burn down, that's it. So that in this movie, I guess he gives Stephen King that proper ending that he's always wanted for the movie. So that's essentially like the difference there. And also with the cult, they're not low on resources. They're actually like, they have like a disease. They got a disease from one of the other members, and Abba, I think, has something with a cure for them, and it's this whole other thing. But I guess they simplified it here because, again, that's a longer story. What's the disease? Explain the disease. What's the cure? Now you're talking, you know what I mean? So they had to cut it down. Again, something that maybe could have worked for a miniseries. Really down to the wire of everything in the books. So that's pretty much what that is. And then in the final battle, before I explain the difference with the ending, with the actual ending, in the Overlook Hotel, we get a scene with Danny and his dad, Jack Torrance. That's the first time we see him again on screen. It's not Jack Nicholson de-aged. It is a random guy playing that character, and it was weird.
Awful. It was bad.
It was really weird.
That's a bad...
I kind of laughed. I was trying not to laugh in the theater.
No, that was bad. That was not a good...
That guy did not have the crazy look.
Because if you look at the mom did really well. Mm-hmm. That Jack guy, I was like, dude, come on.
He was like even chubbier.
I was like, come on. You could have... I'm sure there's someone out there that can do a Jack Torrance look.
That was really weird. I didn't buy it. And he was trying to give off like a crazy look. Didn't work. I kind of laughed. I was like, it was.
If you noticed, they never showed his full face side.
Only side. They only showed his full face once, and now so there's that one scene, and that scene I was like willing to pass on it because they showed only the side of his face, and they needed that. That's a scene that he added for Stephen King because that was supposed to be in the book, in the movie, and it's in his book. So again, paying homage to Stephen King. But when they recreated the infamous axe breaking through the door scene with the mom crying, they recreated that with the new actors. I don't know why they did that. They recreated a quick scene of Jack Nicholson's character running, yelling Danny with the axe with that same actor that we were just laughing at in the previous scene. I was like, why? Why not just give us little clips like what you did with the original Warner Brothers logo? Just give us clips of the original film. Take it back. But they were recreating it, and I was like, oh, man. And what really took me out was the guy playing Jack Torrance. I didn't buy it at all.
He did really bad.
Yeah, Danny boy! And he was, trying to look crazy. I was like, no, man, you can't do that. It's not worth it was, for 4 or 5 seconds. You can't do it. It's not worth it. For that, just put the original clip in. It's not worth it. The scene with the axe going through the door, that was 2 seconds. Why? You don't have to show us these flashbacks. Just let the fans know. If you've seen The Shining, you know what it is. Let the fans just let it sink in. Let them think of it. But then it felt like the movie was just in case you didn't realize this is from this scene. Just in case you didn't realize this is from that scene, And towards this point of the movie is where I felt like the callbacks were a little too much.
Oh, the scene him going up with the stairs, the mom.
Yeah. When it got to the Overlook Hotel, it was like, okay, now you're overdoing it on the callbacks. Besides the flashback scenes that we were just talking about, which didn't work, there's only one Jack Nicholson, the only one Jack Torrance for me, and that was an amazing movie. We do like the subtle callbacks of when Danny's going up the stairs with an axe in the same typewriting room. He's going up the stairs, and then Rose the Hat is coming up and explaining to him what she's gonna do. Straight from The Shining, when Wendy going up the stairs. I was fine with that. It's like a little, and it's shot exactly the same way and everything. I didn't mind that because they weren't recreating anything. They were just, it was like a little homage to the movie. Like, hey, you remember this scene? We're kind of if you remember this, it's a little callback. But when they started doing flashbacks, just in case you didn't remember where it's from, or also the scene where Danny gets taken over by the hotel, and he gets stabbed because he gets stabbed in the leg, and he falls down the stairs just like his dad. And he's chasing Abba around the hotel with his one leg limp. I was like, you lost me. Like, now that's just too much. Now you're literally having him do the exact same thing from The Shining. I get it. Maybe it's because of that dynamic of like father, like son or something. Like, now it's his son running down. I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't know if you liked it.
It was whatever. That was cool. I thought you did good.
No, not the acting or anything. Just the fact that they did that,
I mean, all those locked boxes took over him. So that was like his.
But to do it exactly, like, he got cut in the same, like, in the exact spot in the leg, him limping with the axe. But I guess maybe it's that loop of the hotel. Yeah, like, that's just what it does.
The hotel just does
but
that.
It was a little too like. He could have gone crazy in his own way and made it his own, but they kind of just had him do the same thing as the first film. And again, I think it was just them being more trapped with the callbacks.
Well, he had to get cut so he could die.
For the pain too, release the steam. That's fine, but like really like.
She died way too easily.
Oh yeah, and so now we're getting into that. I wasn't a big fan of the axe scene and him running around. It was too much. I was like, okay, now you're overdoing the callbacks. But whatever, Maybe it is that. It's just the loop of the hotel, and that's what it is. Now, the actual ending of the movie versus the book, the movie, what do we get? It's just in that maze, and then Danny unlocks all the boxes from the hotel, and they attack her, and they pretty much eat her up, and he burns down the hotel.
Then they take over him.
That's when that scene happens, and then
it's like Jack takes over.
He dies with the hotel.
Yeah, because that's like Jack Torrance.
Yeah, it's like everything at once. It's like the hotel essentially, and then the hotel burns down. He dies with it. Everything else with it. Abba escapes. They talk. He shines and talks to her. And she's with her mom, and the movie pretty much ends from there. She makes her own lock boxes at the end when she closes the door, and because I guess some of the things from the hotel are still haunting her, but she makes her own boxes or whatever. Now in the book, Abba and Danny are fighting Rose the Hat, but actually Billy, which Billy's the guy, the friend, right, who dies?
I think so, yeah.
Billy and Jack Torrance shine. They come out and help Danny and Abba defeat Rose the Hat. So there's something where she's on this platform and they're trying to push her off the platform, and Jack Torrance, Jack Nicholson's character from The Shining, and Billy actually help them push her off the platform, and she falls to her death. And there's a moment and there's like a moment there when after that happens that Jack Torrance waves at his son like in peace, like they're both in peace. And so like Jack Torrance is actually in peace after that. Let's say he's at peace and he's not, like, I guess, and him and the son have a moment. And then the movie, there's like a 15 years later, Danny is 15 years sober, and what was it? He's still working with the hospice and all that. So I think he actually lives in the book. And it's 15 years later, and it's kind of like this epilogue, and Abba's doing her own thing, and he's doing his own thing, and I have the article here. Let me clarify it.
And they still like talk and.
Yeah, you see, struggle until they, with help from Billy and the ghost of Jack Torrance. Oh, so Billy himself, because Billy goes to the site. Because remember, it's not the Overlook Hotel anymore, it's the
Billy's
site.
the friend, right?
I think so. And the ghost of Jack Torrance push Rose off a platform to her death, with Jack waving goodbye to his son, having found peace. So that's the ending there. With Jack Torrance, we didn't get any of that in the movie. The epilogue then shows Dan is celebrating 15 years of sobriety, and Abra's birthday is being celebrated. And then he just warns her not to walk in the path of alcoholism and anger before he comforts a dying colleague at the hospice. So yeah, he just keeps doing his thing. So two completely different endings here. But Stephen King approved of it. So
Kind of like that one more.
the book ending, I feel like it concludes more, right? You get
because
that satisfying ending with the
Jack
dad.
takes over Danny. Danny tries to kill Abba.
But here, Jack actually helps him, you know. And the movie, you do get that scene where he's 8 years sober, and he talks about his dad, and now he feels there's a little tribute to his dad, but it's not the same as his dad actually helping him.
I think they didn't do that because
it wouldn't make sense with the movie.
I think it would have.
No, but remember, because I think with the movie, Jack goes completely crazy and all that, but then it shows him in the hotel picture. So it kind of...
He joins
It's
loop.
like this loop.
He joins...
And then with that conversation, so I think he's just part of it now. That's pretty much what I think the first Shining is saying, that he's part of the hotel. So it would have kind of... And again, it's being stuck from being loyal to the book and the movie.
But,
you know...
But I think another factor is, too, I don't think they didn't want to CGI... Jack
That's
Nicholson.
another thing.
You got CGI him. You can't get that shit.
I mean, they did this.
No, that guy was bad. Like you gotta de-age or CGI.
Yeah.
Like the original.
Yeah.
Jack Torrance, because that guy did. I'm sorry. Like, I don't criticize acting, but
it wasn't Jack Nicholson, and he looked weird.
No,
It was kind of laughable.
He was trying to act like Jack Torrance,
yeah.
but me, like, I don't like criticizing. Like,
I kind of giggled. I
I laughed. I was like, at first I didn't notice I was Jack Torrance. I was like, wait, who's this guy talking to him?
Yeah.
And then wait, the hair. I was like, wait, that's supposed to be. I was like, Jesus, that's a terrible Jack Torrance. Because, like, that's there. Like, I don't know. I don't like criticizing someone's acting, but that was a bad performance. Because that mom did great.
Yeah.
But he did not do very good. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was laughable. I laughed. I couldn't. I don't like bashing on someone's acting because I don't know, but
it just didn't work as Jack.
Yeah.
At all.
Because you see people who can do a good, and because the mom did good. Like Jesus, like she.
Yeah, but again, small little scenes. They recreated one scene with her, 2 seconds, and I still didn't like it. But
what, the bathroom one?
Yeah, I just.
But she did well.
Oh no, she did well, but it's just like no, like it's just not.
No, it was so, like I don't know why they did that, but I think she got the yelling right, and the face.
And the scene was very quick too, to where it's like okay, you can believe it, But having scenes recreated with Jack Torrance, like walking with the axe, it's like no, man, we need Jack Nicholson for that.
Yeah, I don't like criticizing acting, but
no, but it is what it is, you know.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I think the guy didn't do a good Jack.
That scene was supposed to be creepy. Creepy, I guess.
Impersonation.
Yeah, like at the bar when he was like supposed to be like mad. It's like
because he tried like the bar scene. He tried doing the scene that he does in the original movie.
Yeah.
When he's talking to the guy.
Yeah,
in the bar.
and he does that look like if he's supposed to be crazy. It's like
He didn't have it.
No.
He just didn't have the look. He didn't have the Jack Torrance.
No.
Look.
But
laughable. But they should just reuse some of the original footage. But I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen King didn't want to use.
Maybe he's like, no, I don't want any of that movie in here or something.
I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen King's recreate it. I don't want hit that in my movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he hates it.
Yeah, he hates it a lot.
But I know some people don't like it, the original Shining, because it's not faithful.
Yeah, no, like at all.
And it's still a great movie.
It's a classic. That's why this director was stuck, because it's like you got the
the
movie's so iconic, and then the book is a classic as well. So it's like, What do
weird.
you do?
Yeah, because the scene in the hotel with the elevator and the blood, he really wanted to pay homage to that as well.
Yeah, it's not the same. I don't
Cause he saw
know.
how long it was. Like he really wanted to show.
Yeah,
And I thought it was cool, but also weird.
it was cool, but again, I feel like it was a little
Because
too much
be-
callback. A little
Because
too homage.
the villain is just standing there looking at it.
He just wanted to add that scene.
I feel like he just wanted to redo what Stanley Kubrick did
Yeah,
to see what it felt like to film those type of scenes.
maybe. It is iconic.
And also, I feel like Stephen King didn't want the footage.
He's like, yeah, if you're gonna need scenes, recreate them. So it's our own thing.
And I feel like he would do that because Stephen King is that type of person to say
Yeah.
something like that.
I'm sure he was just like, no, just recreate them. It's ours. Like it's our own thing. You know.
Yeah, like I don't want his movie. I hate that movie. I don't want it in my movie.
Yeah,
Which
maybe.
sucks because I actually would have been a lot cooler and a lot better
Yeah,
if you just added those original scenes in there.
for sure.
Because you know how cool it is to see Jack Nicholson's little clip of him going up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. They probably would have made the clip a little longer if they had the original thing. Do you show the original? I think since they had to recreate it, it was like 2 seconds. Man, that 2 second of him doing a little smile on the stairs, I was like, oof.
Yeah.
Damn, that's funny. I
Yeah.
couldn't take it serious. And it looked very bright, very colorful.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
But yeah. I think that's pretty much it, right? We pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I
We
didn't
went
like the climax.
we went through the book and the movie
I
ending.
didn't like the climax. I thought she died. What was her name? The Mad Hat? Or
Rose the Hat.
Rose the Hat?
Yeah.
Wow, that's such
Yeah.
a simple name.
Yeah, didn't work. I actually that book ending sounds more interesting.
I like that one more.
But it is what it is.
The climax, I didn't fear her power because she drank all the stem or steam.
But
whatever,
it didn't really lead anywhere.
And she died.
Yeah,
Quick.
I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Nothing happens.
I think they didn't want to do like a kind of like a Stranger Things battle. Kind of like
Yeah, maybe.
I think
They could have done something pretty cool, but
I feel like they didn't want to do too much of that, where it's this all supernatural battle.
yeah. But then we kind of got it wasn't climatic, you know. It was just like
It was quick, and the girl, the Abba, like what's her powers? She's like powerful.
she's just a really strong shiner.
Yeah. I don't know. Is she really? I don't know.
Yeah, no.
And none of the other people use their powers.
Yeah. I
And
don't
they
know.
all have guns. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that was weird. That whole action scene. I was like, whoa, they all just have guns now?
Yeah, it's a shootout. I was like, wait, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, use your shine powers.
Yeah, the only person that does is that one girl.
Who kills the friend?
Yeah.
I wonder why he did that.
I don't know. I think
Shock
the
value.
yeah, maybe. And also maybe that character in the book is supposed to go a whole different path. Again, maybe the story was supposed to keep going a lot longer. There wasn't much else to do with that character.
Do you think if the movie was 3 hours, it would have helped it?
Mm.
Like an extra 30 minutes of.
I was already bored with this movie. You know, for the most part. Then when it picked up, I was like, okay, and then nothing happened. So I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I think if it was a mini series where they could focus on each episode and making it as good as possible.
That book ending sounds a lot better. I would have liked that one more.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. You know. But yeah,
They
guys.
should use the original footage.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think it was that. I think it was something with Stephen King. And
Because he hates.
he's like, no, just let's do our own thing.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, because you can't get Jack Nicholson. That guy is old.
No, yeah, he's really old now. Like really old.
Yeah, you can't de-age him.
Yeah, no. There's no de-aging that man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you're watching, thank you for listening. This was ours. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to everyone who's checked out our new short film, Demented. It was a lot of fun doing it. We did it over a weekend, and it took us some time to do, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you guys for the great feedback and checking it out. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's on our YouTube channel, Cruising Films. Listen, go ahead. So thank you guys for watching. You know, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you want some more. It does help us out a lot. If you guys are listening, you know, thank you so much for listening. Leave us a review or a rate on iTunes or anything like that. We also have an Instagram at film&everything_podcast. It's doing really well. We're about to hit 1,000 followers, which is awesome. So thank you guys for just always checking out our stuff. And we try to post any news or reviews on certain movies and stuff like that. Anything that's going on with film or games or anything. So thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed this review, and goodbye.